Hey y'all, I'm Glenn Kaiser, but most of you know me. I want you to meet my friend Brach, who is the magnate behind Zeppelin Design Labs. He makes some cool stuff, which I use, by the way, constantly. So, started out with this. Brach, give us some personal history and overview of Brach, the musician, the guitarist.
Yeah, well, musician-wise, let's see, I started out really young playing violin.
Really?
Not on my own volition. My parents put me in. My parents put me in violin
Well,
lessons.
all right. We love the violinists out there.
And I think because they really wanted me to be able to focus on something. I had ADD really bad, and so playing an instrument helped. But it wasn't my thing really. But eventually, my parents allowed me to start playing trombone in school band, which also turned out to be not so much my thing. But I learned a lot, you know, and of course I sang in choirs all through high school and junior high, and that was a lot of fun. But after high school, you know, I was really bored and really kind of feeling inspired, and we had a bunch of guitars laying around the house because my brother played and my dad played, and so I just picked up the guitar and started playing it, and I fell in love with it. And I just couldn't believe that I could actually create my own music. And that was such a mind blow to me. I was so cool. I could play the songs I heard on the radio, but I could also make my own stuff. And I loved being able to create that way. And yeah, so eventually, you know, that first year, probably year and a half, I played about 8 hours a day of guitar.
Wow.
And so after that, I was, you know, good enough to start playing with other people. And I just got in bands and you know, started writing our own songs and traveling a little bit, and eventually, to the various points in my life, that was my main source of income for a while. So, I guess one of the reasons that we know each other as well is because I got in a band with your daughter.
That's right.
And I guess that was years ago now, but you know, playing old, you know, soul-sounding stuff, jazzy stuff, folk stuff. So.
And you do it well. I'm going to tell you, Brach for me is one of my all-time favorite rhythm guitarists. He also plays riffs and sings really well. But what I heard right away was you got that stuff down. It was probably you played it for years. That vibe, that style, soul, R&B.
Man, it just speaks to me. You know, it's like. You know, just something that resonates deep inside of me. So
Zeppelin Design, how'd you get in this line of work? Look at all this electronic gear and all the stuff you build and imagine and then come up with these kits.
Well, I mean, I'm a nerd, first of all, so this stuff comes naturally to me. But why I got into audio electronics, I was actually and when I was in college, a kid down the hall from me in our dorm had this 4-track cassette recorder, and he recorded his own album. And it just blew my mind. I couldn't believe that you could actually record an album in your dorm room with just some equipment. And so the next semester, I ended up getting in this studio class in our school's studio. And I bugged the guy who was leading it so much that he kind of took me under his wing and showed me, you know, the ropes. And eventually, he gave me the keys to the studio so I could just go in there anytime. And I fell in love with, you know, the idea of recording and producing, and I thought, well, I want to become a studio producer. And to be a studio producer is the way my mind works. I go, you know, get the whole foundation. I knew we got to be a good studio engineer, and to be a good studio engineer, you needed to understand electronics and signal paths. So I switched my major promptly to electrical engineering and started studying this stuff with, you know, the whole purpose of being able to become a producer in the end. But I kind of got sidetracked and waylaid here in the electronics world because I just fell in love with, you know, this side of the thing and never ended up making it to be a producer.
and obviously sometimes you come up with stuff, well, regularly, not sometimes, that guitarists and other musicians, nerds, but also people that just are looking for different things, tone, modifying what's already out there, doing things like that, because you're a musician. See, that creative factor to me is really important.
Oh, yeah.
You worked for Philips Electronics for a time, was it?
Well, I fixed Philips TVs for a while.
Oh, okay.
And I've had some electronics jobs in the industry, you know, starting from when I got out of college off and on.
So you have the background in all of that. So what about Zeppelin Design? How did this come about? In a nutshell, what's the history?
Well, several years ago now, we had a company, a friend and I started a company, basically kind of a sister company with another company here in town. And my job with them was designing a line of guitar amplifiers and effects pedals. And so I did that. As soon as I got done with that project, the company changed hands, and the new owners did not want anything to do with the guitar world. And this is like, they made mostly studio gear.
Oh.
And so we had all this gear designed, and I thought, well, gee, I've been really interested in the DIY. I've been fascinated by this DIY stuff for a long time. And so I thought, well, what's the possibility of us being able to just make kits that we could sell? And so we had some products already designed, and so that's kind of how we started. We started with our little tube amp percolator, the 2-watt tube amp percolator, and
which I have one, and I love it to bits, as you know.
It's a fun little amp that is a kind of an oddball made with this old TV tube. But yeah, so and eventually we decided to start this because we thought we had these products, and we thought that people could use them. So, and we didn't necessarily have the manpower to be able to make tons of the parts ourselves. So we decided to make a DIY kit company.
Brach, how did you come up with such a wide array? Because do you even know off the top of your head how many products you've now offered?
Not off the top of my head.
Many.
Yeah, a lot.
A lot.
And
amps, foot pedals, I mean, on and on it goes.
Yeah, well, I mean, to tell you the truth, it's just kind of following my whim. It's not so much structured. If I was smart when we started this company, I would have said, all right, we're just going to hone into this one demographic.
Yeah.
The pedal users, or the guitar players, or the synth market, or whatever. But I'm just so interested in all these things. Going back to my ADD, probably. I'm just so interested in all these different arenas that I just make things because I love making stuff, and I thought, well, shoot, somebody will be interested in this. Let's put it up for sale, make a product out of it. So that's kind of how we got so diversified.
Well, another thing I can tell you from experience, you're a tone meister. You understand tone and good tone and quality, and everything that you've ever done for me and that I've seen come out of the shop has been amazing. So, if I sound like a fanboy, y'all, I am, okay? So, do there happen to be a sort of top 2 Zeppelin design items of interest right now at the present time?
Well, we've been selling this, I think I got one here. This tremolo pedal. This is like the packaging of it. But I may have, oh yeah.
Is it pronounced Quaverado?
Quaverado.
Quaverado.
Which is a made-up word, by the way.
Yeah.
We just, all of our products, were coffee themed. We couldn't think of a good coffee-sounding name, so we just picked an Italian-sounding name.
Yeah.
And so it quavers, so it's a tremolo pedal, and so this one sells really well. Another thing that sells really good is this contact microphone.
Yeah.
We sell these all over the world. People are eating these things up. They're just completely different industries, but
Chicago Bulls, who was it? Somebody came up in the NBA they got a pile of these.
During the pandemic, all the NBA games were played in a bubble on 3 different courts. So they had a shortened season, but the whole season was played in Orlando on 3 different courts, and so they were trying to experiment with trying to make the home user experience a little bit better. So the NBA bought a whole bunch of these things and put arrays of these things underneath the court for, so people could hear the ball bouncing, sneaker squeaks, and oftentimes still today people use them on backboards, and they put them on all different sports. People are using them for, but not just sports. People are using them for tap dance floors and
cool.
Stage effects and all that kind of stuff.
So a lot of recording and live applications as well.
Yeah. People use it in studio. People use it on live. People use it for broadcast. So it's pretty kind of a unique product. There's not a lot of products like this where it just picks up vibration of a solid surface. You can put it on this table, and
sure.
It wouldn't pick up anything that we're saying.
I love your ads. Your ads up in YouTube, I think, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Facebook, YouTube, all that stuff.
You've got like toilets flushing. You got all kinds of crap.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we tried it in all kinds of stuff.
Put it on anything. Put it on a potato, I guess. Okay, one last question, and thank you for your time.
Yeah.
I just want people to know more about you and what you're doing in just Zeppelin design. Anything in the back of your mind you hazard to say, well, we might be coming up with...
Well, I'm working on a bunch of stuff.
Pick one.
Actually, this is one right here. It doesn't look like much now, but it's a little d.i.y, a direct injection box. And that's one thing we're making. Here's a little prototype of it.
Okay.
I actually happen to be working on it today.
Cool.
And I've always got, my brain just goes way too fast for me to get these products out. But we're working on some pedals, some new pedals. We're getting so many requests for different pedals, and so I
and modifications as well.
Some. Well, I don't necessarily focus. There's other companies that focus on mods of existing products.
Sure.
I'm really interested in just making, parts that people can, products that people can assemble themselves. So they got the whole thing right here that they can just play.
Cool.
Just something that fascinates me is this concept to be able to create the gear that you actually use to make music with.
It's excellent.
And it's just something that resonates.
I've never done that myself.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm talking about. Just
Cigar box
resonates
guitars,
deep
et
in our
cetera,
souls,
right. Give me an Altoids tin. You've actually helped wire them up for me. Done a great job.
Oh, yeah.
So, website.
Oh, yeah. Info, ZeppelinDesignLabs.com. Come to our website, check out the products, see what we're doing. And we're on the socials. We got Facebook, Instagram.
And like I say, YouTube. You got a bunch of YouTube video ads of the different things.
Yeah, YouTube. So
cool.
We're all over the place. So just Zeppelin Design Labs.
My friend Brach at Zeppelin Design Labs. Thanks for watching, and hey, give it a listen. Check out what's going on. I am a fan. I admit it. I love the work that they do, and I love what they do. Thanks for watching. Glenn Kaiser in Chicago. Thanks.